Sweet. the unboxing, I guess, for lack of a better term. Should do a profile. This is the 3DR Solo. It's basically, when this drone came out, it was the easiest, bestest to use drone you could buy in the market. So I got one. When you combine this drone's ability to fly and the technology that at the time was available through the GoPro 5 4K, I have the ability to now. Let me go grab it. I got all day. I guess, for lack of a better term. That's the drone. Nice. All right. So this is the gimbal for the 3DR drone. This is my 3DR drone and my 4K camera. Let's put this over here. I like to always just wrap it up in the terry. Just set it somewhere safe. All right. So we're going to reinstall the gimbal. We had a crash, so we needed a new gimbal. So what we need to do is connect this puppy. So we match up the plug here. And that goes like that. Be careful. Okay. That is going to lock on that side. Let's get that in there. And this is going to give us some beautiful shots. You can't even imagine the kind of shots you're going to get from here. With the campus we're going to be shooting at the Turing School of Esoteric Mathematical Sciences, we are going to be exploring quantum computing. And while we're doing it, they're going to let us shoot a little movie. So the whole goal is, through academics, to study and research, but to have fun at the same time. Because life is about having fun. Okay? So the gimbal is in, and it seems to be well seated in the channel. And what we need to do is test it out. So this is how the 3DR toolkit comes. I'll save that. Somebody can get that from me. A little screwdriver you could have forever to just have handy around the house. We'll raffle it away maybe. To the partners. We're going to the dance. We're going to the dance. Who's dancing with us? Okay. There we go. So I'm in the prop shop today, and I'm dressed as our lead character, Dr. Henry Azaria, professor of ancient esoteric studies, whose grandfather was the author of a series of books on angels and other worlds, whose multi-million-dollar fortune in the 1800s from selling these spooky books built a university that was intent on teaching people what was right, but it was hijacked by an evil order of priests intent on changing the way humanity thinks and using education as the means. So now we have this drone. It's going to give us a lot of production value. People don't understand how these shots, when you get people walking through the forest and you're above the tree line at about 150 feet and you're going slowly as they walk, it's a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful shot. So let's get the camera mounted. Okay. Clean our lens off, and then on the day we'll have lens cleaning, air. Doesn't have any air available right now. You should always have a can of air on you when you're shooting. Okay, you don't want to put your fingers to wipe anything off. Okay, so the camera goes in here. There's a hook in the back of the camera. It uses a little chip. This is a 4K Hero 4. Okay, so it's a Hero 4, but it's a 4K camera. It's great shots. A little lens flag on top of it to be up there in the sun and sort of hide the glare off of the lens, right? So let's put it on. There's a channel here where our communications, and I'll tell you right now the reason I bought this setup and whether I can, I try to buy as many parts as I can and keep them on hand, but like the case of the gimbal, I need to just go deep and get that. $300 almost, and I sold it to the movie last night through the My Movies patronage in kind program, where the filmmakers can donate, whether it be labor, whether it be products or services. You can take a prop house and they can donate. You get an estimate from a prop house for like $150,000 for a costume. Now you don't have $150,000, but what you do have is an estimated need, an estimated demand for funds to make an art project. And in that art project, you have to allocate $150,000 towards that material so that you could realize that art. So how do you do it? With a patron, he might become a patron, the person with the equipment, and they might decide to donate that. And in this world of patronage, it's not a donation. It is your in-kind purchase. Okay, so we're selling copyrights here, and I hope people get that. And the copyright I'm selling, I have rights to. And so what I need to do today is I'm going to go and sign an affidavit affirming my rights to use the words and the terms and the ideas that I use, because they're mine. I'm an artist, and I have permissions of the appropriate people to tell the story I'm about to tell. So what do? I go back to telling my story. So there we go. It sits right in there. What I like to do, regardless whether I thought I hit it or not, is take the cleanest spot and just give it the once over before I set it all up in its rig here. All right. So this gimbal, and now, so these are the communications in the back, and here's, I guess it's either power. There's probably power. Bam. So now we're powered up. We have these batteries. These are the 3DR batteries. Okay, so we had an accident. And now we're popped out here a little bit. Let's get our rubber mallet and see if we can't. Well, it's working. That worked. All right, sweet. So that was a crash. And we just want to make sure this thing fires up and flies real quick. And then we're going to take it to go get an establishing shot. And I'm pretty sure it does. It's just we need to make sure that everything's good to go to shoot today. All right, we have some battery. Find out how much. Let's get our 3DR app out. Turn on the drone.
Hey guys, Colin here.
Alrighty. Not connected. So now we got to go connect. Move solo away from metal object. Not about calibrating sensors. There we go. Magnet. Maybe at this magnet right here or something. There's sensors on it, so it told me to move it. So I took it off the bench, and now it seems to be calibrating. So now let's see. Oh yeah, let's connect to the Wi-Fi here. Okay, we're connected to the drone on Wi-Fi now. So let's grab that. The app's connected to the controller now. A good battery. It's looking for GPS. I think what I'm going to have to do is throw it outside real quick. Let these radio signals do their thing, because now I'm pretty sure that I could reach that signal, because this thing goes about 700 feet. So it's going to take a few minutes. Solar requires a clear view of the sky is what it's telling me. But we're connected. So our camera needs to go on.
Solo must be level for takeoff.
So where's the camera? Mode. Oh, so our camera's working now. We have a connection from the gimbal to the Wi-Fi. So now what I'm going to do is just let this thing get its signals. It has 8 of them. It likes to connect to like 10 signals or something like that. So what we need now are the grates. Okay, now it's ready to go. So let's get some propeller grates, I think is what we want. We always, from now on, we're going to fly with the protective covers. I was usually lazy and I went in some trees, and the rest was new gimbal. So in order to shoot this, I either have to buy a new setup or rent a new setup. So we purchased that setup so that we can get it done. Now let me find the covers. If I can see it real quick, I won't have to go down. Okay. Now we got to find them. So the good thing is, I guess people are going to hear me working. Looking. On the movie set, we communicate with the walkie-talkie system. And in the heat of battle, things are happening and everything's falling apart constantly. Del Toro described it as eating a shit sandwich. We're eating a shit sandwich here. And we have just what we need to make the best movie we can. And anything better than what we're doing is Hollywood. If we can add anything to what I'm doing, it makes it a Hollywood movie. I'm making an indie B movie. The collective purchasing power, the disposable income available in VSV, they should be making a Hollywood movie, but everybody's tripping because of the scope and the magnitude of what we're trying to accomplish. And what people need to understand is that we're just having fun, man. Changing the world. I'm not too concerned about
Stuff's like people inability to understand what we're doing. So we build. We just keep building. Not in there. Nice little reveal right there. Oh, it's a Corman classic. Look at this. It is. Happy. Oh, yeah. My man. Oh, my man.
Check that out. The Corman Classic right there. That's a Corman Classic. We're making a Corman Classic here, people. We're making a Corman Classic. But first we need the guards for our GoPro, our drone. Can't let it hit anything. Go look through all these bins. Need that. Yee-hoo! Gotcha. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And it was at the very bottom of the last container. But that's how it goes. You just keep looking. You just keep trying. So in the movie business, we say looking. When you're sent on a mission to find something, okay? Flag of Jefferson. Prop covers. I think Henry might take that into the jungle too. That's a nice little touch. Little samurai weed whacker. I like this one. And that's why your character has to have dimensions to him. They can pull stuff out of nowhere and handle his business. It's like any wannabe hero would. But we'll see. Corman Classic, Creature from the Haunted Sea. My mentor, Roger Corman. Okay. It's a school. It's a film school. It's not a job. You're always challenged to do more than they pay you for. You're always given more responsibility than you deserve. Now I wonder if it's going to tell me that the satellites are lost. But what we want to do is we just want to fire it up. Want to get it off the ground, silver to silver. These are color coded because they're opposites for stability. Okay, so I haven't really gotten to this since the crash. We have to take that off. How do we do that? We need to grab the motor. Boom, boom, bada bang. Okay. Color coded. There's silver, silver. Okay. Black on black. Tighten. Integrity. Went into the trees. Okay, so these are the rotor covers. And so basically, this is going to protect us from the trees. And there's no sense to them other than they just snap on, and then you got to make sure they're on right. And what does that mean? We'll see in a second. These propellers have to clear. Okay. Okay, that's good. The men in black are escorted by a group of elite fighters. And right now we have one. And the next week we're going to have to get a couple. And I'm going to have to get that going. Okay. The money we have right now, the money we've raised, will buy us lunch and rent the helicopter we're going to shoot. And I'll be purchasing a chain of custody for that money as it comes out of the wallet, the documentation of the expenditure, and it travels from the money button wallet that the donations come into over to the exchange, over to the Coinbase, to the United States exchange, and then transferred over to dollars. We go from the exchange to Bitcoin unproper, and then we transfer to the dollar at Coinbase, and then we go into a Chase bank account. Then I show either a credit card transaction or a check receipt for that, and a receipt. And then we have money out, money in transit, and we have final destination of the money. Okay. It's accountability. It's a trust machine that was built by Dr. Wright. And what I'm trying to do is fully realize its potential in an industry that's very, very mean, very, very evil when it comes to money. And so all we're trying to do is liberate those that add the most value to these copyrights and allow them to share with those who want to help them and assist them in what they're trying to do. So I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Oh, I can pop them down too. Look at that. So let's go down with all of them. So now we come straight down a little bit. That one's all the way down. And that's some good clearance. Okay, so let's get it out there. Okay, here we go. So we have our controller. Now it's searching for the GPS again because it lost it while it was inside. And all we really want to do here is test it up and down. I'd like to just get it off the ground. I'd like to spin it around.
Break. Fly. Land. Fly. Crash detected.
So now what we need to do is make an adjustment. Got it. So this is a little pop. Replace this. And with the little pop, we go silver. All right. So all right, we'll do it again, but this time we'll do it right.
Return home. Land. Return home. Fly.
All right, it's a go. It's gonna work. Awesome. That's gonna be a fun video to watch, huh? How'd that go? So I have that video I will post so you can see the crash. We had another little crash. I mitigated the damages with my, hey, how you doing, Diddy? Are you there? I just flew the drone. Oh, you guys are way behind. So we're getting ready. Diddy, if you're there, say hi, because I will tell you something about the shoot that nobody knows, I think. Nice.
Flight battery at 15%.
That was wild. Been a while since I've flown the drone. Yeah, sweet. That's cool. So that's why I put the guards on, so that I could crash. So basically I can pretend I'm smart and go, see, I did it. It survived the test crash. Fine. With the guards on, now we can crash. That's what Henry would say. It was a test of the guards and it works perfectly. Now off to the journey. So Henry's a trip. I'm dressed in character today as Dr. Henry Azaria. Most of us are method actors, and I think what I've done it's driving my family crazy. And I've been Henry Azaria for the last several months, and it's driving people crazy, but it's okay because it lets me know that it might work. Okay. And so what I'm trying to do with the character, this abrasive, in your face person who knows things and is set on his ways, and bring him in to your world to say some things that might need to be said. Yeah, very indie. So we got a dime battery here. Get the battery off. We'll get it on the chargers. Okay. We'll put in new battery. Phoenix, who could be calling me? Hi, this is Ted. Hello?
Hi, is the door available?
Who's this? Hold on one second.
Sure.
Can I help you? Hey, I'm good. I'm pretty busy. I'm in a live YouTube right now. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Go, Daddy. Don't need you. I got Mohana. Got Mohana up on my Yahoo server in the GitHub doing things that I couldn't do to make the use cases that we've done. And so let's talk about that while we're here, because I think what people need to know is exactly what I'm doing. I'm not a Hollywood producer coming in here to try to get that money and make that movie so I can make that money and make that mortgage payment and baby, right? No, I'm a retired filmmaker who read the Satoshi white paper, and it dramatically changed his life after he fully understand the implications. And so I'm here now because this is an amazing opportunity in time and in the history of time to be on the precipice of an understanding, Henry would say, of the realities in our universe. And if you wish to seek the truth, then you must be brave enough to throw everything away that's been taught you, because it has been taught to you to make you sit there and question me now. So in making an indie movie, and making a movie out of my pocket with Diddy, with Ed, with Nom Nom, with everybody, I got to name them. We got to come up with a system. I think Diddy and that form you filled out, we need the tweets of everybody. So I need a way to get everybody's tweets so I could thank them individually, because this is our movie. You guys are buying me lunch. You guys are buying me lunch and a helicopter right now. Okay, look what I bought so far. And you guys are right there with me because you're buying a day. You paid for a whole day. Actors will go wherever the camera is. I've already showed you that I have the camera. Okay, so these actors are going to go wherever this camera is. So if those actors end up where this camera is, and there's a $203 helicopter sitting there, they're going to get in it, they're going to fly, and they're going to let me have fun. And look at our pine cone. So we're going to be shooting at the Turing School of Mathematical Esoteric Sciences. And what we're going to be shooting is an aerial establishing shot. And we're going to establish our character going into the quantum lab during the day after having had a conversation with one of his students about the trip they're taking to the Emerald Forest Mountain. Okay. So we reach into our 3DR bag. Grab a fresh battery. Not that we're going to fly it. Just let's see how much battery there's. I might have to charge. Yeah. See, they just sit there and die. So we're going to get them on the charger too. These will give me 1 shot each, 2 shots each. And so I'll go get one charging right now just to know. I got 3 charged, 3 halves. I'll get my shots. Got a little while too. So let's get this one out and we'll actually charge this one. Okay. So I'll go down to the charger. I'll be back. Oh, well, Diddy's here. Hold on. I like this. Interesting. The character reminds me of Henry. I know he was a professor. Yeah, I'm interested to see how you do some of the effects. Yeah, well, I mean, it's all effects driven at this budget, right? There's no real pyrotechnics. There's no stunts and those kinds of things that add value. But what there is probably 12 minutes, 15 minutes on a drone on one battery charge. And what we do is we just get the shot, plan the shot, get the drone up there, program it once, and then we let it go and it does its thing 2 or 3 times. And then we jump in the scene, action, action, action. And then the drone says, my battery's dead, I'm coming home. So when we hear the beep, 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 we know cut. And now the drone's coming back, keep it out of the trees and we'll be fine, right? What I do want to do before I put this away though, is I need to pull the guards off. Number 1. Yeah, this runtime on these are about 15 minutes. And I mean, it's a pretty good time. If you get it going pretty good and you're not doing too much accelerating and you're just constant, you can pretty much go to the max on that. So now what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to use air. We're going to have some air under. And that still is nasty. Okay, so now we're going to need some lens cleaner. Okay, and we're going to be good to go. There's sap on those things, okay? So we'll get that all cleaned up. I don't want to use the Goo Gone. I want to use the lens cleaner. It's more of an alcohol evaporative thing. And I'll get that going right now. As we go to get the charger. Let me be right back. Okay, so get them charging. And we're good to go. Anybody here, or I'll just keep talking? So we'll take care of that. Let's get these pillars off. So now, since we did a little, these have a little some teeth. We clamp into the motor. Turned it in the proper direction and just take it off. You know, here's what we did. I'm sure that's what she has to do as a filmmaker. I paid the money. It was, you think Derek paid a lot for that video. I paid the money to, you know, it's like $500 to put the movies up there. And so now what I did was give her 90% of her revenue, right, gross, right off the bat. And if she can market and make any money, she should go into the subtitles and she should do that. Or we could take money from the Satoshi Nakamoto fund that I've established in the name of Satoshi Nakamoto to give to these filmmakers, marginalized filmmakers, the ability to do that. And maybe she's our first scholarship recipient, so she can pay for a transfer. But the real issue, Diddy, and what these technical people have to figure out is how to encrypt our locations so that we can, anybody on a public blockchain can sort of find out what you're doing, but Nchain and, you know, the people that are working hard to get solutions are desperately, hopefully, trying to get us the encryption we need to put those movies up for mass audiences. I have several movies, but I wasn't going to take that chance with one of my Hollywood B movies because it would be pirated. And if her movie is pirated, I mean, that's okay. It's cheaper to get it right now. So we'll see how that works out. You know, my French is no good. I just thought we're making history constantly here. And this could have been the TED show. This could have been about me. Look at me. Look what I do. Look what I can do, you know, and it has to be that to a certain extent now because it's all on me right now. But when it came to elevating people, you know, and saying this was the person to have their thing first, there's an issue that we need to address, and that's, you know, the women and underrepresented, marginalized demographics that tend to be, I guess, left out of the process. And so the women in the 4% challenge and what they're experiencing, and I just made a commitment. I'm going to be a soldier and I'm going to go in there and do this for the right reasons, that I'll embrace those movements. And my first two moves that were public, because I made many use case historical moments so far, but the only two that I wanted to go public was the two women. So the first woman, the first person to have their movie in a blockchain and to stream their movie for free was a woman. And the first person to negotiate for a role in a Hollywood movie with using Hollywood contracts, using Hollywood systems like a pay or play, was a woman. And it could have been me as the SAG pseudonym Ezekiel Cruz. It could have been me as the director of the student film 90-minute long Chupacabra, the C movie, I call it, you know. And I didn't make it about me. I made it about them, and I made it about the technology. Now people are going to make it about me. It's going to be about me. So now it's about me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to continue to make history, and I have some people like you that are supporting me, helping me do that. So if you look at the graph lately, you know, I've been accumulating my receipts, and I went back in time and I did what was asked of me to provide a Bitcoin in time system so that Bitcoin patrons would be recognized at the time of their
patronage, and I made that decision because that's what they demanded. So when I made that decision, it works for me too. So I went back in time and I found the dates in which I bought those things, and a lot of them were recent purchases, but some, there was a couple of purchases where, had I not bought the thing rather than try to exchange it through this system I'm trying to develop, which I'm going to show you now, I needed to spend the money to have the items, because it's the money that comes and goes. It's not the item, right? Money comes and goes, and you need to spend it where you need it. And if you're going to make a movie, you need to spend it on movie stuff. So I did. So we'll put the drone away. We'll take the camera off so we can clean it. And I remembered how to fly this thing after 5 years. So that's that. Tatatu app. What is that? Let's see real quick. This is interactive movie making, You're an associate producer, Diddy. I'm stopping what I'm doing, and we're interacting because we're making this movie together, and you've recommended something for me. The Tatatu app. So I go Tatatu entertainment with rewards. Let's see. This is like you watch and get, right? This is probably one facet, yes, of what we do, but they're still being shoved on you. And yes, that's good, but we could take this idea and incorporate our system into this, because I think what this is, plus and more for free, plus get rewarded. See, this system right here is Tatatu is good at doing this, but Dr. Wright has a system that he's going to drop on everybody with 500 million cell phones. This is almost that. Yeah, okay. Johnny Depp's involved with it. You know why Johnny Depp's involved in it? I know why. He must have been paid in excess of millions easily to get involved, but then what he's going to get if it works, they got to the right guy. They got to a guy who needs money, and they're going to get him involved, and they're going to come and they're going to play the Hollywood game, and that's cool. We would take something like that. And as a matter of fact, I think, you can earn approximately 12 TTU tokens for each movie you watch. You also earn approximately 12 TTU tokens for each movie watched by friends of yours. Okay. So now, as we go and as we build this model, if it's not in line with the patents we're using that are for this type of activity, the micropayment ecosystem that I'm developing. So do you see that micropayment ecosystem? I'll explain to you mine personally, Diddy. We should do yeah. So me and you at some point, maybe not in production, but we'll talk, because I'll share with you my system that I've developed that's a little more subscriber based, where this is being put on them and put to them, and their activity as a result gets them tokens. They're creating a tokenized environment for why? Because that's where the money's at. Give me your dollars. I'm going to sell you an image of money, and then you use that money, but you can't get your dollars back. Where I'm taking your dollars, but I'm taking them in a currency like Bitcoin that could be spent anywhere else, where Tatatu locks you into Tatatu. So, not interested even to this point, because I think we're still light years ahead of Tatatu, because we have believed and embraced the end-chain philosophy and the end-chain technologies that are the best for the Bitcoin model, for the Bitcoin protocol. So they're going to have to still come in where we're going. I'm already going to be there with the protocols and with the technology, or they're going to have to reinvent the wheel and live or die by this token. And when people are always spending Bitcoin, they're not going to want to transfer out of their Bitcoin to go place some movie token. They just want to go on their wallets and browse sites, and they're going to come to mine and get mine. So I'll be ahead of them with their Bitcoin. Okay. but we'll talk about it. I don't want to say too much because I hope there's a lot of guys taking notes. Some of the guys, never mind, we won't talk. We'll just get it done. That's what we do. So I have things we're going to be giving away stuff. Like I have like 5 of these little 3D art tool kits and stuff. So little balance weights and stuff. And just keep them handy. We give them away at the end. We'll be raffling stuff off, raffling off guitars, whatnot. Let's get this right here. Yeah, BSV blockchain. It's everything. So you have to look at it as everything and not in a spiritual or not in a this, you know, embracing I would say the idea that this is a spiritual movement. What I'm saying, this is technology, that the technology is so tight, you know. Well, yeah, me neither. I'm not a developer, but here's what I am. I'm a movie producer. And so what did that allow me to do as a movie producer? Okay. It allowed me to not take no, to not pay nobody, except for the people that I had to absolutely pay to get to the next step in what I was trying to accomplish. And then just the ability to just hammer it home to where I'm not a developer, but as Blockhead 408, the My Movies model with the use cases we presented at the hackathon, with the consultant that I paid to get it in order and the kid in there rocking with me, Mohana, we were semifinalists. So I encourage every artist, every thinker to know the technology so good that the technologists, you're ahead of them and you just need them to crunch this or pipe that. And that's the part of the problem, is they feel that they're so needed that you immediately receive resistance because they already have their own ideas. But, you know, they're still sitting behind their computer. So I'm right here. I'm in it. I'm in the laboratory making use cases possible because I'm committed to making this movie so that I could take the data and I can put it in a platform that is a micropayment ecosystem that will be tenfold what Tatatu thinks it wants to be, because it's a constant hive of activity more than just zoning out on some movies. You're making a movie, you're active, you're engaged, and your mind is hopefully stimulated, and you're helping to create and you're helping to change the world by telling stories as opposed to just, you know, checking out in front of a binged season of something on Netflix. So, you know, go watch a movie, get inspired, go take that inspiration into the world. You know, that's what we're trying to create. Art House is alive if we continue to fight. So, you know, what time do we have? Because the kid is coming. It's 10 o'clock. What else do I need to do real quick right here? Need to do. I need to answer another question, I think. No? Okay, good. Well, I was really lucky to find this kid, and I hope it works out. It's so tough at this level because actors are trying to survive, trying to live, and then trying to act at the same time, and you know, scheduling, and somebody lives 3 hours away, 2 hours away. It's really like Christmas. I'm waiting for Christmas for this kid to show up and arrive. And what I have planned, that's a good idea. And I think somebody could even do that themselves. Download it all, start cutting it. I'm not going to do it. My philosophy has always been, you know, the energy it takes to make a documentary, if it's any good, the energy it takes to make a short film, if it's any good, the energy it takes to do anything in this shit sandwich business, you might as well go for the gold and make the 90 minutes. So at the end of the day, you have something. You know what I mean? You have something to take to the exhibitioners and say, we would like to exhibit, we would like to tell this story to as many people as possible. What is your system for the exhibition of this material? And those are the terms we're using, because we're not in the business for the Lord Timmy movie to do anything other than prove the use case that we can negotiate for intellectual property peer to peer. Diddy's proof of that, because Diddy has bought $100 divided by the final total budget of the movie. So no fool in their right mind would set this up like that, so the copyright would transfer to somebody, whether they gave them $100 or $1,000 or $100,000. Only a fool would do that. Okay? Unless the copyright was developed for the purpose of giving away. And so when I get reactions like, don't do nothing for this community, make profit, because that's, then the greed will come and they'll come and build, that isn't my approach. My approach is, this thing is still too young and we are pioneers, and to go into this thinking it's about money is wrong. And all these guys who think it's about money right now, they're not where we're at, because they're waiting for a money mechanism. Building just can happen if you just decide to build. It's really simple. So it's not about money. I wrote a copyright that I could give to people no matter what they gave me, because my heart intends to display the potential for this technology to the world. And in order to do that, Henry would say, in order to do that, I got to get motherfuckers out of my way. Okay? And how do I do that? By just putting my nose down and just hammering it home in front of everybody. Because that's the only way they're going to see that the only way to succeed right now is to truly build. To truly build and to set yourself apart right now. To use the technologies that will soon be barriers to entry for most people. If you yourself are trying to build a technology for the BSV blockchain and you've seen a patent that already does what you need it to do, but you want to circumvent that patent for your material gain, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. Because I promise you, we don't care. Yeah, we don't care. We want history. We don't want the money, Diddy, right? There's men and women who are seeking history, and they're going to beat you. And I know it hurts that people are putting their lives into this, but if you're waiting and you got business plans and you're waiting for somebody to make you rich to go share your idea, you'll be left behind by the true builders, the true passionate innovators and visionaries that have the courage to come to this space and take a bunch of shit from baby mama basement dwellers. I don't know what to say. So now what we're going to do here is make history together. And I think what's important to know is that we should never lose sight of the fact that we're a single community. And I don't kumbaya, because I believe, like the old tribes, there's a tribe in the sub-Saharan tundra where if a child displays inappropriate behavior such that the community at large is threatened by such behavior, and he's not going to talk like that, then it's more like a Michael, it's James Kirk and this other cat, Michael, and it's a pausing and clarity sought in conversation that pauses the speaker to think as he speaks, because when he doesn't, fucking crazy shit comes out of his mouth. So I digress, but I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to put the noise behind us, as the hate and the competition will be now such that, you know, this space is going to get ugly. So we are a community. We need to respect each other to the point where if you don't understand what somebody's doing, that we're so young in the game that if you really want to understand, you should just sit back and watch that person day after day after day. Because this space is full of people who think. And when you get a bunch of people like this together, there's no telling what they're up to, what they can come up with. So I work as hard and as fast and as long hours. I work from last night, it was from 2. I got a couple hours of sleep. So I was up at like 5:36, 37, 2 to 7. Yeah, that's about 5 hours. I got an extra hour in. So now I'll go again till midnight 30. Okay, no matter what, I have to go that far. And then I'll sleep, I'll open my eyes. It's time to get up. I can't roll over. I can't put the pillow between my legs and think about that pitch deck. I don't have a pitch deck. I never built one. I don't have a white paper. I never built one. Because those things are hope. I don't have hope. I have action. I build. I don't ask. I'm not asking for nobody's permission. That's what they're confused about. It's like they're stopping me from doing anything. And it's not. I don't need their permission. Okay? I just need to focus on building. And what's sad is that in building this, I need to market and I need to include the community, because one of the use cases engaging the community at large to come to a marketplace to purchase intellectual property that could never be done before in the history of mankind. This is insane that they're looking at it like a scam. They should be embracing the opportunity to throw a 20 spot into what might be the future. But instead, they're going to spend 20 on arguing in Twitch. Yeah, they're making a lot of money. They're just doing basically a hand cast circle jerk of sorts. They're just, you know, it evolved, and I'm going to break it down to you right now. Hand cash, you ding and dong. You want to ding some dong? Well, you keep that shit, because this is the movie business, okay? We need currency. You know what I mean? We need money. So we don't ding no dong, we don't hong no kong, and we don't Charlie Chong. You know what I mean? What we're all about here is cash money, because that's what gets people to work. How do we get that cash money? We negotiate peer-to-peer, and we use a form of calculation and a form of demarcation on reality and time. Time stops when you go to Bitcoin. What is the time? What is the value? Let's exchange at a value. Let's move forward. Now that transaction no longer applies. The economics of that transaction is over. You will make new decisions based on new prices. Oh, don't trip, Diddy. When somebody puts 20 in this movie, in my heart, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When they put 100 in this movie, that's insanity to me. That person is like, how involved are they? Wow, I owe that person. I have to give that person. It's not like, oh, another 100. I'm trying to find that person. Ed gave me 500 and I'm going crazy trying to find Ed. I got to thank this person. I must have spent, and I'm not bragging. I'm telling you how insane this is, that somebody gave me 100 and I'm so grateful. And I'm going mad because I'm trying to find him to thank him personally in this vast cyberspace. So I'm searching for his Twitter and I go to his about on his YouTube, and I'm trying to find our interaction where I can go back and comment. And I just, get about an hour into this. And I go, man, let me go to the YouTube. I found a video. There were comments open. I left a comment to thank him. Stop the insanity. I got to thank him. Yeah, Ed Bitcoin. So those $100 contributors are people that are telling me that they're in it for the right reason. They're in it because they know that if this thing succeeds, then the future for their movies, the future for their selections, the future for their interaction with these movie stars, it's better. It can only get better through the technologies that are made available to us. So I gotta right now come up with a form so I don't go crazy, because I want to thank people. It just drives me crazy that I'm tweeting and I'm doing this, and people have given me 100 here, 100 there, and I can't go up to them personally and say thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to us, and then I got to go back to work. So we're gonna have to put up a form where, you know, I think Diddy filled one out so that we could at least stay in contact for documentation purposes. But I think what we need is everybody's social media, or how, you know, preferred method of contact. What I tried to do was keep this like an anonymous thing for the people coming into the space. It's you have your privacy, you don't have your anonymity, but your transactions and the micropayments and your transactions and interactions will document your activity, and I don't need to know who you are. And that was the intention of the model. And you start building, you start making it happen. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, gosh, there's got to be a way to get these people's Twitters, and let's do it. And now I have to come up with that system that says, I need to invade your privacy momentarily while I thank you. And that's just the way shit works. That's just the way shit happens. So I got to come up with that system so I'm not going insane and spending hours trying to find somebody who reached into their pocket and into their heart to support us. So stop the insanity. Get me your Twitters. People shout out to me who you are so that I can shout out to you constantly what we're doing. Hold me accountable. What we're doing in the prop shop is holding me accountable for the time. And I get a lot of stuff done, and I'm a lot of places. And you know, the YouTube streaming live can only happen in my garage. You can go subscribe. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I could start streaming from my phone. But the streaming thing is more about accountability. I'll keep these videos up. Anybody can pop in. You could scroll through it. You could find me in the footage, and then you can hear what I'm saying, see what I'm doing, because you're a purchaser of the materials that I'm using. You might as well see what I'm using. So what we're making right now is a Roger Corman classic. Okay. And we're not so serious because we don't have any money to think that this is a Hollywood movie. But this is a B movie made to Hollywood standards with no money. So it's really a unique experience that we're doing here. That we're trying to take the budget of a movie like this and turn it into the dramatic quality and story integrity of a real Hollywood movie. And in order to tell a story that we're telling, you can't tell it verbatim. They already know it, and they didn't want to hear it. Okay. So those of you that have a problem with my story, it's science fiction, and the operative word in that is fiction. Henry would say it's fucking fiction. Well, what you can learn from me is how to make a movie. I mean, hopefully I'll document this whole process, and, you know, I'll do more negotiating on the phone and make some deals and things. People could see how a producer, how a player operates. And so all I'm trying to do is get through this phase of the use case. We won the hack. Well, I say we won it because we're not coders, and we went in there with a bunch of geniuses trying to solve Rubik's cubes, and we went in there with a paper airplane and we flew it. Okay. And that's not fair. But that's how shit works in the United States of America. You go for it until you get there. It don't matter how you get there. You got to get there first. And I don't know how else to say it. 3 years ago, I said, I'm going to be the first one to put a movie in space. And I'm there. So now anything's possible. Okay. Wow. And Roger actually directed this one. This was when he first started, when he actually sat in the chair and he actually made cool movies that had no budgets. And, you know, he had all the money himself. He could have threw $1 million into a movie anytime he could have, but he knew that all that money just goes to paying people who don't deserve it. And he would rather make fun movies that everybody would enjoy around the world, and put actors to work and develop people in the industry and let them go on and make the movies. But his job was to have fun and sell movies anybody could watch and not take too serious. So if you can imagine a movie about Bitcoin that has this sort of mentality, it's what's needed. It's what's needed right now, because you guys are too serious. Too serious. It's not that serious. It's just everything, okay? And it's inevitable. So it ain't that serious. Just accept it and move on. So Let's look at the time. Let's see where we're at. 10:11. All right. I'm gonna cut out right now. I'm gonna get ready to pick up Mahana at 12, and then we're gonna go up and we're gonna do some location scouting at the University of California's Turing School of Mathematical Esoteric Computer Sciences or something like that. I got to go read the sign again or make it. And then see how we're going to establish this thing that is building the world, one of the world's first quantum computers, which we're building, obviously, right here. Okay. That's a quantum computer. Okay. Get over it. It works. We're going to time travel. Okay. So let me go get ready. Make sure all the equipment's ready. Let me go get the kid. I'll post some pictures. I'll tweet some pictures throughout the day. How's that? And you guys can share them, you know? And I'll just give Didi a moment to say bye or whatever, and I'll take off if she's there. Oh, great, Diddy. Why don't you do that as associate producer? That's your job, Diddy. As an associate producer, that's your job, Diddy. Help me find a way to get to all the patrons. Diddy is the patrons concierge. What do you call it? The ombudsman. Ombudswoman. Ombudswoman. Ombudsperson. Let's just say Diddy. Awesome. Yes, thank you. Peace.